Now for the spell cards. So yeah, so these cards we have Galaxy Expedition, and you know, for all of you competitive players, when the Galaxy deck was a thing, you ran 3 of those. So yeah, you have a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster. You can special summon level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck and face-up defense position, and you can only activate that card once per turn. So pretty good if you're trying to search out your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You know, he is a Galaxy and he's a Photon, so you can search him out, and boom, that card works perfectly. Wonders. Galaxy Zero. This is the card I was telling you about. That has the combo with this card right here, which is Galaxy Tyranno. So say you have this guy out in the graveyard, you activate this, you bring him out. Your opponent, his effect is negated because this is what Galaxy Zero does. If you know, for those guys who doesn't know, target will Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, special summon it in face-up attack position, and equip it with this card. It cannot attack or activate his effects. If it would be destroyed during the battle phase, you can destroy this card instead. When this card leaves the field, the equipped monster's attack becomes 0, and then you can only activate Galaxy Zero once per turn. So yeah, so you bring him out. He's pretty much, his effect is done. So yeah, you have a 3 grand beater, but his effect is, you know, finished. You can't even use it. So you know, that's the good combo. Your opponent tries to go over it. You bring this guy out, immediately exceeds for you know, number 62, and you have a pretty good, you know, combo there. So that's Galaxy Zero. We have 3 Galaxy. Pretty, you know, it's an anime card. Pretty good. You can target a Galaxy monster in your graveyard and you special summon it with this card. You know, and you equip this card to it, and then its attack is halved. But during the end phase, if this monster does not inflict battle damage to your opponent this turn, destroy it. And if the equipped monster is used as an Xyz material for an Xyz monster, you can treat this card, the spell card, as a monster with a level equal to the equipped monster's level, and uses that as an Xyz material for that Xyz summon. So that's a pretty strong card. Yeah, so you could bring out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and use that, and boom, you have either 62 or you have another level 8, that's Neo Galaxy Eyes, so it's pretty strong. We have Galaxy Burst, pretty good card. It's a quick play, and literally it says screw you effects. No, it says target up to 2 face-up cards your opponent controls until the end phase, and then the effects of those targets are negated, and the attack of 1 Photon monster you control is halved. So it's pretty freaking good. If that was a real card, I'm running it. And then we have Photon Hurricane. It's literally just a giant Trunade, but better. Worse. It's actually better. I mean, for me at least. You return spell trap cards your opponent controls to the hand up to the number of cards in your hand. So you have, your opponent has 3 back row. You have 3 or more cards in your hand. Yeah, those cards get returned to the hand, and it's perfect. I like it. Photon Lead. You can special summon 1 level 4 lower light monster from your hand and face-up attack position. So you can either use this, you know, if you're trying to go for game. Like say you attack and your opponent did something and he has low life points, you activate that, bring out a level 4 lower light monster, and boom, attack directly from game. Or you can use this to Xyz summon. Or, you know, combo it into a card like the trap card we have here, Photon Escape, which, you know, say you don't have a Photon because he killed it or something. You activate this, bring out a Photon, activate that, banish it at the battle phase, and, you know, combo cards. Yeah, so it's pretty good. There's a lot of combos in this deck. We also have Photon Prevent. This is literally just for effect damage, so when you would take damage from a card effect, if you control a Photon monster, you take no damage from that card. So it's pretty good, and it's a quick play, so you can, you know, even do it during your opponent's turn. Then we have this cheap card, Photon Trade. What a cost! Send a Photon monster from your hand to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. Yeah, that's a pretty serious cost. Yeah, that's an anime card. Yeah, so we have that. It's dumb. Anyways, we have Axel Light. I don't know if I've seen that in, you know, competitive play, but it's a pretty good card. If you control a monster, you can just special summon a level 4 lower Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck. and you can only activate one of those per turn, and you cannot normal summon or set the turn you activate this card. But it doesn't matter because you're mostly special summoning anyways. So yeah. Then we have Card of Adversity. Pretty good card. Another draw card. Yes, Kaito is one of those rivals that has a lot of draw cards for some reason. If you control no monsters and your opponent controls a special summoned monster, draw two cards. That's it. And pretty much every deck special summons, so yeah. Now we have Message in a Bottle. This card is good on its own and in combination with this card, which is Shift Up. So let me explain to you both. Message in a Bottle, what it does, target 3 monsters in your graveyard with different levels, bring them out. Just special summon them, and their attacks become 0, and also their effects are negated. But the catch is, if you don't exceed summons this turn, after summoning those 3 monsters, you lose 4,000 life points, so you will lose the Duel. Yeah, during the end phase. So if you don't exceed summons this turn, you lose. And then you can only special summon, you cannot special summon any other monsters except by exceed summon during the turn you activate this card. So yeah, so it's a pretty, it's a card that you want to be smart with. Because you can't special summon anything except for exceed summon. So you better exceed summon that turn. But with this Shift Up, it says target the face-up monster you control with the highest level, and until the end phase, the level of all monsters face-up, all face-up monsters you control, become the same level as that target. So if you're trying to go for, say, like the combo that he used in the show, I believe, I'm probably mistaken. But regardless, if you're trying to go for Neo Galaxy Eyes, this is a good combo because you could bring out Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon, and 2 other monsters, and then literally just make them all level 8s, and boom, you have Neo Galaxy Eyes. Or if you're just trying to go for, number 62, that's also a good card. So we have those 2 cards, which are pretty good in combination with each other. And then we have Luminized Dragon Ritual. This is a ritual spell card for the Paladin of Photon Dragons. And it's a really good effect because it activates either on the, it can activate, while regularly activating it, or in the graveyard. So, what you do is you tribute from your hand or field to monsters, monsters from your hand or field whose levels are exactly 4, and then boom, you bring out the ritual. Or you can banish this card from your graveyard, banish a monster from your graveyard whose level total is equal exactly 4, and special summon the Photon, Paladin of Photon Dragons from your hand after that. And that's considered a ritual summon, so that's pretty good. It works both ways. Then we have, classic Monster Reborn. I don't have to explain that card. Everybody knows what that does. And then we have Xyz Double Back. It's a pretty good card. I like this, especially when he used it in Season 2 against Yuma. During the turn, a face-up Xyz monster you control was destroyed. If you control no monsters, target 1 Xyz monster in your graveyard that was destroyed this turn, and 1 monster in your graveyard whose attack is less than or equal to that Xyz monster. Special summon these targets, but they are destroyed during the end phase. So it's a pretty good card. Like, say you have a Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon. Say you have 62, or you have Neo Galaxy Eyes on the field, and you attack, and your opponent activates Mirror Force or something. You activate this, you bring in out Galaxy Eyes and that Xyz, so you get to attack again because it's a replay roll, and then you just destroy your opponent. So it's pretty good. So that's the deck, guys. Now we're gonna go into the extra deck. Not a lot of extra deck cards. So we have number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Freaking amazing. This card I love. It's 2 level 8s. But obviously, if you exceed summons using Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, it gets a secondary effect that it says that this card's owner was destroyed by an opponent's card effect. While it has Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as an Xyz material, you can special summon this card during your second standby phase after activation and double its attack. Obviously, any battle damage this card inflicts to your opponent is halved unless it has Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as an Xyz material. So it's freaking broke. And then also his regular effect is when this card attacks or is attacked during the damage calculation in either player's turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card once per battle. this card gains attack equal to the combined ranks of all Xyz monsters currently on the field times 200. And obviously that's only during the damage step, so that's freaking strong. So yeah, that's a brolic ass card. At least to me it is. So that's number 62 Prime Photon Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Then we have Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Pretty good card as well. Takes 3, level 8s to summon it. A lot of people know this card, but for those who don't, when this card is Xyz summoned using Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as an Xyz material, negate the effects of all other face-up cards currently on the field. And then once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card. Detach all Xyz materials from monsters your opponent controls. Then this card gains 500 attack for each. Also, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase this turn. So if you're going up against your opponent and he has Xyz monsters on the field with materials on them, and you bring this guy out, and you activate his effect, yeah, he's screwed. So that's a pretty brolic card. Now we have Star Leech Lord Galaxion. Literally just brings out, you use 2 photons to bring it out, to Xyz summon it, and then you detach 1 to bring it out from your hand, and 2 to bring out from your deck. And what I mean by bring it out, I mean you bring out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, depending on, where he is. So 1 to bring it out from your hand, and 2 to bring it out from your deck. It's self-explanatory. So that way you have a 2 Grand Beater, and you have a 3 Grand Beater in the field. And last but not least, we have Star Leech Paladynamo, my bad. 2 level 4 light monsters. And his effect is pretty good, because once per turn you can detach 2 Xyz materials from this card to target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0, and if it does, its effects are negated. So that's freaking great. You get over anything with this card. And then when this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sends it to the graveyard, draw a card. So it's freaking good. Freaking good. Anyways, so that's the deck, guys. This is Kaito Tenjo's version 2 deck. I hope y'all guys enjoyed it. For those of you who don't know this channel, subscribe, like, share, show us your comments of what you think. Be a part of the channel. This is your channel, guys, and this is as much fun for us as it is for y'all. So we want to make it fun for y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed the deck profile. Anyways, riding duel acceleration.
Gotcha. 여러분,魂のペンドラム、天空にかけ怒りの悪ペンドラム召喚。来い、俺のモンスターズたち。持ちことつく。Butter no Marako! All dice! Pendulum Dragon!